Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're doing another previews flip through. And of course we have the big one. And then we have the DC previews, as well as the Marvel previews. So today we'll look at the big one first, and then I don't know which one we'll do. Maybe the DC one, but just go through it and give you my comments as we go through it. And whenever the previous preview order was up, I missed the deadline to get my form in. So a lot of the things I put on my want list for this month were continuations of things that had launched the previous month. So you'll find out what those are as we go through here, though. It's safe to say at this point that officially all of the Bold books that I had have shipped now. So I will be going into a third printing now. I had 140 of them, so pretty impressed I was able to sell all those copies. And I think I might order another 100, I'm not sure, and just kind of continue to gauge demand. I'm still trying to get to our secondary goal of 2,000 on there. That's roughly, I think, would be 65 more orders would get me to that point, and that's if people just got the regular $5 book, not the sketch tiers or the t-shirt tier or anything like that. But you can check out the link for that below, of course, as well as the link for a discount. If you want to publish your own book, you can get 5% off your order with the link I have below that one as well. All this is in the description, of course. And I'm still taking into consideration all the things you guys brought up during the 500 subscriber giveaway video. I asked for suggestions, so I'm definitely looking very closely at those and trying to make videos around that content. I am questioning whether I should just continue to read where I was for the bulk of quite a few of the things you guys definitely really want to see more Batman, so I don't know if I'll just continue where I was with Batman, which we were in the middle of reading the Night of the Monster Men storyline. So I might just continue to pick that up. But I might go a little later in this series, but I don't know. I think it'd probably just be best to pick up where I was and just keep the playlist and the continued sequential order of the books. And then I'm still tempted to read a few of the other things too. The Turtle ones performed really well for a while, and that's definitely a series that not a lot of people have had access to. I know a lot of the people who were enjoying that particular series, they were in other countries where they don't have access to the Turtles books. Batman and Superman might be more accessible, but it's harder to find the obscure brands like IDW over there. So this was one of the things that I am pre-ordering here. Spawn Kills Everyone 2. And just the cover alone was really fun here. It's got a lot of other random pop culture references besides hero stuff. Here we see like Zelda and I think is that a Boba Fett helmet? Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's Master Chief since we have a lot of other game stuff. The glare of the page there. We have Dragon Ball and Iron Man. Mario Star there. Pokeball. Mario hat. Thundercat sword. So there's quite a few fun things in there. But this one, oh, is he doing the... Okay, so it looks like he still is going to be doing the art as well as writing, maybe? I wasn't sure. It almost seemed like he wasn't doing the actual project 100% like he did on the previous one, but guess I was mistaken on that. And also, too, they're nearing the 300 mark in Spawn, so I'm sure something really big will happen in that issue number 300, so look for that soon if you're interested in that. I'm interested in that Mask Omnibus too. I've never read any of these stories, but I do know that the movie was based on this series. But from what I understand in the comics, the Mask is much, much more brutal and dark and twisted than he was in the movie. So, but they needed to have a better contrast for a villain in the movie, so that's why he's more comedic, and then the villain in the movie is the more violent version of the character. You can see they have a Jurassic Park adult coloring book here. I have a Turtles one in my drawer that I'm tempted to do some coloring in here on the channel for you all. And I always get tempted when I see these video game inspired comics. I do love video games quite a lot, but you know, it's always a matter of what I can choose to invest my funds in. This is another one too, Grundle. I've always heard good things about this here, but I have never read it, and it's one that's interesting to me. Another one too here, Nexus is supposed to be a really good one too, and I've never seen that. I know of it. I love Steve Rude's work, and this I think was his favorite thing he's ever done. And it's his original character, I believe. I don't know if it's 100% his. I know we have a writer here. It's like Mike Barron. But I don't know the exact relation of that partnership there. So it looks like IDW is celebrating 20 years here. And so they're going to have some, their special, it's called 2020. It's going to be over some of their more popular series. And this is their pitch for it right here. What made them into the heroes you love, and what twists does the future hold? So I don't know if it's really going to be like, if they're going to be like a teaser into the future, or if it's going to be like a what if sort of scenario. But either way, of course, I've ordered the Turtles one. I really do enjoy that book. So I always manage to get all the Turtle stuff. It's fun too. I know there's quite a following for Kim Possible. It looks like they have a book here, but it's like a graphic novel. But it's 80 pages. And I'm not sure if it's looks like they're having another new original movie too. That's interesting. This is the big one I'm excited about, is the Shredder and Hell miniseries. I believe it's 4 parts. And old Sanluco is gonna be doing all the work for it. And he's my favorite Turtles artist. And he's been off the book for a good long time, and I can't wait to see what he does with the character, of course. I thought this was interesting too if you're into Rick and Morty and Dungeons and Dragons. The miniseries they did, they're doing a box set of it here, and then all the covers have variant covers where they're character sheets. So, and then there's a blank one too. So that's pretty cool if you're into that. And then I wanted to pick up the Rocketeer, but it looks like the person who's doing the covers is also doing the interiors, this style here, not this one. If the style was more like this, I would pick it up in a heartbeat, but I'm not really keen on this style here. So I'm going to actually give this series a pass. But, you know, I hope that it does okay so that we can see more stuff from the Rocketeer, but I don't know. I'm not a fan of that particular style, so I'll be passing that one. But I think it's just a 4-part miniseries, so they might do more if it does well, but I don't know. I always wish I could get these artist edition books here. Looks like they're doing another Turok relaunch. And I've never read any of these, I just know the character from the video game for the Nintendo 64 back in the day. And this might be one that would be interesting to get. I really think the art style is pretty unique there, but I don't know anything about the book itself. Between that one and the other one, I believe it's called Isola. Both look really unique and interesting. And I just realized they have this book here I read in the past, maybe 14 years ago now, I don't know. But Pyongyang, it's about a guy who basically goes over to North Korea to work as a he does like assembly work on animation where he like animates the limbs on cartoon characters, and he kind of records his experience there and how it was just really kind of unique and bizarre with how things were over there, where they're super protective of what information is spread about the country and everything. So I do remember reading it, and I do recommend it. I don't have it. It was one I borrowed from one of my good friends in college who has a huge passion for comics too. Okay, I did read that right. It looks like there's a comic called Fart Night. So that's pretty random. I'm assuming it's a spoof. So check that out. Now this book here has really nice looking art. I believe it's all black and white, yeah. But it looks really gorgeous. This looks interesting too. It's a comic biography about Philip K. Dick. He's pretty much, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is considered like, I don't know if he's, I don't want to phrase it wrong and screw it up, but he's definitely one of the most influential people in science fiction. I'm trying to remember his exact place. I know like he did like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and Man in the High Castle and stuff like that, but I'm trying to think of his actual standing in history, like where his spot came along. I think he was a pioneer in the amount of stories he wrote, possibly. I can't recall, but definitely a huge force for science fiction. I'll look and read the description here a bit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to pin the wrong information on there. And I believe Man in the High Castle might have even been Kurt Vonnegut. I could be confusing that book. I could have sworn he did that one though, but I know for sure Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and, stuff like that. Contemplating this for following up on the Nightmare Before Christmas reading I did. And the main difference with this story, it is an original story about Zero, but it is in full color as opposed to black and white. I'm going to flip the catalog over. Hold on. I do want that Austin Powers pop there. They already have it where I'm at. I just didn't have funds when I saw it last. I like this Batman cowl a lot too. It's not too bad, it's 90. I believe the DC previews actually tells you the measurement. I love the Cyborg Superman they have up here too. Here's the rest of them here. Definitely be getting these two. And I know I pre-ordered this a long time ago. So I'm sure the shop will hold one for me when they do come out. I like this Captain America print a lot too. Next, I will move to the DC previews. Right off the bat, I will be checking out the Young Justice relaunch. As I've said before, Young Justice was one of my favorite comics growing up. So we'll see how it goes. That Gleason doing the artwork, I love his work. Hopefully Bendis doesn't mess it up though. We'll see what happens. And I don't know why they gave old Impulse there the buck teeth. Hopefully that's not a consistent look for him and just like a silly pose they put him in. Because he definitely didn't have buck teeth back in the day. And then I pre-ordered the Batman Who Laughs book here. It's art by Jock in it. I'm really curious when all these are going to wind down. So I could have sworn they would have already wrapped or be close to wrapped by now. And it's weird, they're getting close to the 1,000 for Detective Comics, but they haven't announced a big book or anything for it that I'm aware of, so it's really curious to me. Because you think they would play that one up as much as they did for Action Comics. Or maybe the retailers are still reeling from their decisions from over-ordering for that particular book. They shipped quite a few units, if I remember, though. Like, I think it was 500,000 or something. I could be wrong, but... I really like the art on these books here, but as Justice League Odyssey is not a book I'm following. Any of you guys reading it, and if you are, do you like it, is the question. So I'm wondering if DC's, you notice they're kind of rolling out some of the odder characters and giving them books that by this point Mr. Miracle will have wrapped. So I wonder if they're going to throw the spotlight on these kind of offbeat heroes and then do a big project with them in the end. That's what I would imagine they would do, but I'm not on the inside, so I don't know all their plans. I was checking to see if the Teen Titans went back to their original lineup yet. I stopped following the book when they changed the roster. Yeah, so it looks like it's 8.5 inches tall. So that's not too bad. I don't think that's a life-size scale though. Yeah. 1.2, so that's half scale. I believe is the correct term for that. I really like that cyborg though. And then these are cool. They're doing the Dark Knight's characters. This scene here, you can recreate that with all these statues. Then we move on to the Marvel previews. And Conan relaunching is the big thing for Marvel this month, I believe. Not a huge Conan reader, but I can see how this would appeal to people, so I don't know if you guys have collected Conan much, or this is something you're interested in or not. I wish old Esad would work on the interiors for the book too. He is doing the covers, it looks like. But they aren't bad interiors, but I just really love his work, and I know he would do really good things with it. And then I believe I signed up for the Invaders relaunch here. Some nice Butch Guice art. And it's by Chip Zdarsky. It's after his recent run with Spider-Man is finished strong, so hopefully this will be another good project for him. This is a good cover here too. Alex Ross, of course. And I like the build-up that we've been seeing in Fantastic Four, the Doctor Doom, so I'm assuming this issue he'll make his appearance back on Earth or something along those lines. I would love to get back into X-Men, but I just have no clue what they're doing with the series anymore. And then it looks like they're relaunching some of their older series from back in the day here. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And they're doing things like Marvel Presents again. I do like this cover a lot. I think it's pretty standout. This is, where is it? Digital Demon in a Bottle. So, cover is very striking. I'm interested to see what the story will be about for that one. I feel like I really need to go back and read the current Venom run. I've heard it's fantastic. And then I did let this Winter Soldier series go by the wayside. I didn't pre-order it. I might change my mind, I'm not sure, but the last Winter Soldier miniseries I was not impressed by it at all. And I just don't want to be burned by following the character. I really liked the stuff that they did originally with them, with all the Brubaker and everything, and then I felt they just kind of lost their way from that. I'm getting this too. I'm interested to see how they're going to pull off the 3D in this book. Of course, this has the iconic image of Cap leaping off I think it's a building or something, but it's pretty much a full page splash of him. And I have a blanket with that image on it. I'm curious about too, that's the Kami Smasher Cap run in this trade here, including old Howard Chaykin's story he did in the Theater of War, which I do have that story, but I don't have this other stuff. But of course, having read all the Cap, I am familiar with it, but I just don't own it. They like to claim that the Cap during that period was actually not the same Captain America, but a different individual entirely. It's always funny to see how they explain their ways out of certain inconsistencies in characters. But at least they made an effort back in those days, you know? Alright, well that's going to do it for now. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys are reading or what you want to check out. Make sure to check out the poll number 1, link in the description. And if there's nothing else, you all have a good day or night. Also, too, on my next Thursday live stream, I will have Konstantinos on to interview him and hang out about his book coming out on, I believe it's the 14th, called Stilk and Metal Tim. So you want to check out that. It's going to be this Thursday at 10 Eastern on my live stream. Alright, have a good day or night. Thanks. Bye.